It's a great question, and we're seeing the devil and the horns on technology with things like the latest iOS and Android operating systems are having their own digital wellbeing built into the underlying operating system, although in a very much a opt-in approach, which is a little bit soft, where it just tells you about how much you've been using the different services and the different apps and been on your phone, with the hope that with education that will cause people to change. And I think that's true in certain aspects, but again, similar with those people from the AP side who knew they needed support and would go out and reach that support, those that are aware enough and have the readiness of change to want to make a difference and change the way they use their mobiles and technology will make that change. But it's those that aren't aware of some of those negative repercussions of technology will just look at the data around how often they're using the phone and either see it as a gamification and try and beat that number, or just ignore it, which I think is a danger. For me and for us, technology should always be there to drive more human experiences. Now, technology has allowed us as a business and as a solution to scale across the workforce in a way that we couldn't if we were trying to get 100% of the people to call in and speak to our counsellors. So I think what it's helped us do is create more awareness of what we're offering, and also helping to attract people to use the solution who aren't necessarily thinking about their total well-being. But then what that provides us is the ability that if they need to, they've got the app on their phone. If they do need to contact someone, they're not having to find out what the telephone number is, not having to find out what can be covered. They're not having to speak to HR to get details, because sometimes that's a big barrier to getting support, is thinking, well, if I speak to HR about getting this telephone number, what will they think about me? Will they add it to my record? Which of course they don't, but again, this is the negative perception that people have about the impact it will have on their careers. So the fact that they've got access to this solution on their phone means that they can click on the number and speak to somebody if they need to, when actually maybe before we had the technology and before we had the mobile app, they wouldn't have even known it existed. And I think the other thing we're seeing is, because of the large number of people that are using our platform across the workforce, is more people are having that conversation. So typically within a team, if you're working in a team of 5 people, you know your team members. You know when their strengths, you know their development areas, because no one ever talks about weaknesses in corporate, but weaknesses. You know when they're going through a difficult time at home and at work. So actually, if in that team, 3 out of 5 of you know about this solution and this service, and they can tell that person to install the app and follow the assessments and read some of the content, or even call the number, then just as a consequence of more people using it, you are supporting more people, because you've got that tipping point. And that in technology we talk about network effect. So how if you can get one person who's signed up to the solution and sees value in it, they'll go and speak to a number of different people. And if they go and speak to a number of different people and then they see value, they'll go and speak to a number of people. And then you've got this ripple effect, this network effect of more people knowing about the solution rather than you having to go and telling everybody about it. And I think that's where technology plays a big part.